is the K-pop cast, and in this episode, we discuss K-pop music comebacks from RM, ATEEZ, Everglow, Signature, and a notable track from Jungkook's Basic Era.
We also talk about EXO-CBX and their, going to war with SM Entertainment, and what happens to K-pop fans when they hit 30.
Yeah, because right at the stroke of midnight, they immediately turn into a hag.
Yes.
Like that. It's just a metaphysical reality of the universe. But we ask about that. We question, where do they go? Where do they come from? Mom, Dad, where do K-pop fans over 30 come from? But before we get into those topics, don't forget to join us in the K-pop cast listener fam on Slack and help chip in for our editing costs. Links to both those things in the episode description.
And now for our hit replays. I'm Virginia.
I'm DJ Pirlo, and hit replays are our K-pop song recommendations. Virginia, kick us off. What's your hit replay for this week, for this episode?
Yeah, so this hit replay is off the fourth track off of RM's second studio album, Right Place, Wrong Person. And it's called Domodachi, featuring Little Sims. And Domodachi, I think, is the Koreanized, it's the romanization of how Koreans spell Tomodachi, which means friend, I think, in Japanese. And Little Sims is a Nigerian UK rap artist. And it's, I don't even know what kind of track it is. Is it funk? Is it hip hop? It's weird.
It's avant-garde, right? It's essentially artsy.
Yeah, and I really, 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 really like it. Some facts about the artist. RM of BTS, which is, I guess he also was known as Rap Monster. His given name is Kim Namjoon. He's a South Korean rapper, singer, songwriter, producer, and he's currently serving his mandatory military enlistment. And his latest album, Right Place, Wrong Person, came out on May 24th and was the number one on Billboard's US top rap albums, which I think is new for Korean music.
They're recognizing rap as an art form.
Yeah. Recognize the Billboard recognizing a K-pop artist on the rap platform. It's a weird song. I love the sax intro. The sax sounds a little bit like a clarinet, but if we check the credits, it's all saxophones. And then there's multiple beat change-ups. It's really complicated beats, too. It's not like your regular 4/4 or 3/4 time signature. They're just very jazzy, improvisational time signatures. Little Sims' verse is really, really good. She rides the beat really well. It's really very fast. It's really good. And then there's this weird, I don't know if it's weird, but there's this Japanese chanting about we're all friends, and it's like a chant, and I feel like the song just feels drunk, just lurching around, and it's just I immediately liked it, but I can see how people would not.
Why did you like it? What was it that immediately struck you to like it?
I think it's just interesting. It's just interesting to listen to. And all the parts of it work well together. And I think it's just talking about friendships, and then the MV is a weird, my cinema friends love the MV because I guess it calls back to a lot of fancy movies that I have never seen. I think Monster and I don't remember. They told me and I was just above my pay grade. My brain was just I don't remember these. But yeah, it's just it's just weird, and I really like it.
What do you think the song in particular was trying to say?
From what I remember of the lyrics, it's talking about like friends and like, where are the lyrics? I had the lyrics up here somewhere. But it's like talking about friendship, I think. And then, it starts off with cursing, so I already like it. It starts off with motherfuckers want a bigger growl, motherfuckers need a damn patrol. I've been slipping through all kind of bullshit. I've forgotten where I came from. And I think it's a commentary on like, probably like hangers on, like they get famous and then they get fake friends, people who like latch onto them, who try to write their coattails. And the whole album is actually a lot about that. And all his friends want to he feels like his friends are trying to take advantage of him or use him to get famous. And so, it's just sort of like, how does he deal with that? How does that make him feel? And then just seeing the world in general, like, what is he says, at the end, it's like, we're all friends. Let's dance here. I'll dance right now. Like, it's just a bizarre song. And I'm not really quite sure what the message is, but it's just really discordant. And if it's about like friendship, then, and it's all this like dissonance, then, like the complicated feelings he probably has about friendships. Like, I imagine if you were that famous, that it's difficult to sort out like people who are on your side, who like you for you, or who like you for your like benefits, if that makes sense, or your fame. And then even your old friends, like, do they actually still like you, or are they only like keeping you around because they want to get the benefits of being, with a famous person, or they might not have anything to like that's relatable anymore, so it's an interesting song to me.
So me cheating by reading the comments a little bit. One YouTuber writes in the comments of the music video, this is YouTube user Jim numeric 1 ins period _ wrote, Domachi means thank you, friend. And the video is his friend leading him out of all the places he didn't want to be. Him finding his peace and free soul and happiness again. Only June could hide deep meanings in each of his music videos. He forces you to think. Because, RM, Namjoon is big brain member of
but
BTS. That
video, I don't know if that's true, because in the video, he abandons that person who leads him out. He's not a good friend.
Oh, we're
like Namjoon is not a good friend in that video.
What point does he abandon the friend?
At the very end. If you watch to the end, the kid that leads out the Namjoon stand-in, you think he's gonna
right off into the sunset on the bikes.
Yeah, and then together, but
he just turns around.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily know if the main character in this video is actually a good friend at all, because he abandons the friend at the beginning too. So I don't agree with this YouTube commentary.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. It was the first thing I remarked when I heard this, like, oh, this is the dissonant song, because it was very like out of key on purpose and all over the place. So deliberately there to kind of make you feel uneasy. And then the rap was like, I felt like that was the only place where we had like a consistent tempo, because otherwise it just fluctuates all over the place. But
it doesn't sound like you like the song.
I can appreciate it for its artistic merit. This is like the song that you don't consume as like a banger or a jam. It's the one you watch and read and listen as you would as like critically acclaimed art in like a museum or an art gallery. So it's like, it's a different paradigm for how you need to consume the work, I think.
Do you think it would do well in a club? I think it'd be weird, but it might be it might do well.
Virginia, the songs that do well in the club are the ones that have like very simple instructions and are all about living that high life. Like,
Oh,
It's stupid, but like it's not stupid. But I appreciate it for what it is. So like 2PM's put your hands up. It's very simple instructions. You put your hands up. And you put your drinks up. Now everyone put your hands up. And that gets people going in the club. It's a club banger for that reason. That. Like, for the K-pop club nights, that one always as well as, it's the reason why, Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling, it's such a hit.
I hate that song
so
much.
Right. It's like, you just run like up with up and like, you say like Mazel Tov and L'Haim for like no reason. But it gets people going because it's like, party atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. It has that driving beat, right? Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm. So...
Okay, so you're not playing this at the next K-pop
No. So, yeah, that's all to say that songs that are good for the club aren't good for your brain all the time. And, yeah, maybe vice versa. So... Okay, I'll go on to my hit replay. So my hit replay was the song about money, making that dough. It's ATEEZ's Work. Gotta work.
Gotta work. Gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus so I make it purr. Keep on refresh when they see me earn. Gotta work. Gotta make that money, make purse. Gotta focus so I make it purr. Gotta get that credit, get purse. Gotta work.
So ATEEZ, if you didn't already know, they're like the BTS Challenger group. like I don't know. They're up and coming with Stray Kids. So they're a South Korean boy band formed under KQ Entertainment. And as of June 2024, they've released 11 EPs, 2 studio albums, and 1 single album in the Korean language. Wait, am I reading this right? Anyway, they have a lot of music. For having debuted in 2018. They've just been nonstop at it. And this song, Work, it's a hit replay for me simply because of the beat. It's just so ridiculous. Like when listeners were talking about it on the Slack, I was like, right away, I was like, oh, that's my hit replay. I'm claiming it for my hit replay. Just, I don't know. It's got a very simple like hip hop beat, and then all the rhythmic elements visually shown in the music video complement that beat. Like, on the one it's a very simple thing, but like, they'll have, he'll kick in the shovel, or there'll be like a rhythmic it's just, visual things shown on the music video, like chickens nodding their heads to the groove. There's something so simple but so infectious about this beat of Work.
Yeah.
And it's been doing really well, I think, on all the short form video platforms where people talk about work-related things. And K-pop. So, yeah.
And the hook is really catchy, right? What is it? Let's work. And then something about like get purse, and then gonna make my fur purr. I don't even... It's so stupid, but it's really great.
Yeah, it's like, everyone likes money, I guess. And so it's like, I got to work for that dough. And I don't know, there's just it's like one of the things that you have to have in like every rap video. Like you have to talk about money and how you have a lot of it. And there's like dollar bills everywhere in this.
And counterfeit dollar bills. They were counterfeit, right?
Is that what's going on? Like they were printing and cutting it out?
Yeah, I think he's like, yeah. And then it's just there's so many nods to so many things. Like Willy Wonka, There Will Be Blood.
Wait. I was not making those connections. Like what is the Willy Wonka and There Will Be Blood?
Isn't there this guy in like a purple velvet jacket with a top hat and a cane? Isn't that like a Willy Wonka reference?
Oh, is it? And what is it saying? Like what is?
I don't know, but it was just like I think they just threw in a lot of weird references. Like I think the random oil. I mean, these are all things that also make money, right? But like,
Or mining for gold.
Like Willy Wonka had a factory, you know, and then and then the ostrich riding, and then the like money mecha. Is it a mecha? Is it a monster? Godzilla references. You know, it's just so. And then the chickens. I just love the chickens are my favorite part.
Money mecha. That's the person dressed up in the money suit.
Yeah,
okay.
I think. Yeah.
Oh,
and
so I'm sorry, I'm connecting it. So like that's why they had all the miniaturized skyscrapers, just to be like the old timey Godzilla.
It's a fun video. I think the song would have been catchy without the video, but with the
it
video,
definitely
I think
helps.
it elevates.
It adds more to the experience for sure. And I don't know where the Latin elements are coming in. It feels like a very hodgepodge of like Latin elements. You've got the lowriders. You've got the it's like a non-Latin person interpretation of like tango and
because it's set in Mexico too, right? It's supposed to be set in Mexico.
is that
or like,
but the diner that they filmed, that's in LA. Like someone actually went to.
Yeah, I mean LA is close enough, I guess. And then they have you're like the flamenco dancers, and then I think the GTA references, right, with the slamming cars, and then the game over, and I feel like my husband said this, so I would take credit, but my husband occasionally says smart things, and I made him watch it because I just thought it was so funny. And he's like, I feel like this is what other people think Americans are like.
In what way?
Like he's like, doesn't this like have every mishmash of like what people think hip hop and like American movies and like American sentimentality about money, and it's all in this video. And he's like, yeah, I feel like it yeah, it's like I wouldn't go as far as saying like they're mocking Americans interpretation of money, but it's definitely a commentary on money. Or maybe we're going too deep. It's just a fun video.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Oh, they talk about LA in the lyrics, so maybe it's intentionally LA.
Oh,
like they're trying to really lean into
maybe.
like, I don't know, the LA, mixing pot between like, Mexico and US and entertainment. Or
they also have Spanish lyrics, right? And I think they mentioned Tokyo too. And then like,
Tokyo, maybe that's what the Godzilla reference is there for.
Oh yeah.
And then
the golden egg. I feel like they mixed metaphors for that, because there's that golden goose that lays golden eggs, right? But you're stuck to the goose if you touch it.
Yeah.
And then, but it's chickens instead. Either way.
What did you think of the third party chorus of the song?
I don't remember actually. But I enjoyed the whole song. How's that? I feel like it's a typical, okay, please do not roast me, listeners. But I feel like ATEEZ has two volumes. Hype, like this song, and then like a ballad. And that's why it's difficult for me to attend ATEEZ concerts, because I find it
like whiplash,
because they'll do a whole slew. No, because they'll do a whole slew of loud songs and there's no variety. So then it becomes they're all good songs, but then you play them back to back, then it sounds like one loud song that goes on for 30 minutes, and then it's kind of boring.
And so not enough dynamic tension in between those peaks. Yeah. But they've got stuff.
So don't come at me.
In their discography,
they're good in concert. It's just not my thing. So yeah, I feel like this song fits in very nicely. Although I feel like they're changing their thing, because aren't they pirates? And then
time traveling space
the last
pirates,
few MVs, and now they're cowboys. And isn't Cowboys Monster X's thing? Like I feel like Monster X should fight back.
It's not just Monster X. It's been like Winner, SF9, Oneness, a number of other boy groups have gone for 17.
No, but like, I mean, a consistent cowboy look, not just like a one-off cowboy. Because then you could say BTS also did that for like Permission to Dance, the song that I refuse to acknowledge. But like I feel like Monsta X is like consistently cowboys, just like ATEEZ is consistently pirates. But now they're into like, but I guess cowboys are desert pirates. I don't know, but it's just, I'm confused with this artistic change in direction.
I think I would have liked it, maybe controversial take. I think I would have liked it if it didn't have this like very confusing interpretation of like flamenco, mariachi, taco truck. Like it just seemed very hodgepodge to me, and not trying to present these things in their, I don't know, in their own space or in a way that seems genuine to those, art forms or cultural contexts. It seemed like it was just like, I don't know, we're going to throw everything up on the wall sort of thing.
It reminds me of spaghetti westerns. And the what's that old movie? It's not old, but I guess it's old for some listeners. The one with like Salma Hayek, From Dusk Till Dawn and Desperado, or like it has that flavor of over exaggerated westernness, like Western movie type of thing.
This song was really banging in the club, by the way.
Is it?
People were asking for it multiple times at a BTS night this last weekend.
Wait, you can play other songs at a BTS night.
Well, okay,
right?
so
Or
the
no?
way I did, so it was a Jin homecoming event, and the hours from 8 to 11 was BTS only. And then there was also this ITZY concert also happening here in the Bay Area. And so from 11 to close, it was ITZY and general K-pop. But because all the armies were in the building and decided to stick around for till it was shut down, they were asking and seemed to be responding more to the boy group. So there was some like midsies who came in after the concert, and put some ITZY stuff and other girl group stuff. But the girlies who love boy groups were out there in force that night, and AT's work was highly requested multiple times, and people got really excited to the song. They got really down to the song.
Well, like you said, it has very simple instructions. It's got a really catchy hook, and it's got a very classic hip hop beat. So
Yeah, and I'll add the last reason why it's a hit replay for me is because they were able to make a flute sound like a clarinet.
Is it an actual flute that's playing? It has to be a clarinet on the actual track, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's just
okay.
that's the joke, Virginia. That's the joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ruined the joke. No, because when I first saw it, I was like, that's not a flute.
that you're hearing, right? But
Right,
in the
right,
music video, he's clearly blowing a flute. So
Yeah.
just owe it to his ability to make a flute sound like a clarinet. Just
He's
that skillful. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for hit replays. Moving on to most popular K-pop songs, most covered K-pop songs of the week, according to kpopdances.com. So coming in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming in at number 10 this week, we've got 17's Maestro. At number 9, we have Espadrama. Number 8, it's New Jeans' How Sweet, their new song. Number 7, it's Ives Heya. Number 6, we have Le Seraphim Smart. The Butt Afrobeat song is still on there. Number 5, we've got Baby Monster, Sheesh. Number 4, Islet Magnetic. Oh, number 3, Espa Armageddon just appeared out of nowhere with 52 covers.
That song is so good, though.
Yeah, it was requested at my gig last weekend. It was requested multiple times at a street maker fair festival thing I did that was really popular there. I was going to play in the random dance, but I played the Supernova instead because I thought that would be a little more fun and viral. But and then Okay, so I'll leave it to you, Virginia, if you want to guess the
No, I'm
last two.
terrible at this.
No, you can.
I'm always bad at this.
You could probably guess it. So number 1 and number 2. I'll give you a hint. They're both girl groups.
Well, you already said Illit. I think it's still New Jeans, maybe? No?
Nope, not New Jeans.
Oh, no. Oh. No, Peter, I'm very bad at this.
Okay.
And I know I remember it from the past 2 weeks, but I was just like, no, just try and remember the past few weeks, but I can't remember.
Well, okay, I'll give you another hint. One of the top 2 is by aespa.
Oh, we already said Drama.
We already said Drama.
Right.
We already said Armageddon.
We said Armageddon. What's their other? It's an old song then.
I'll give you another hint. I just talked
I
about
told
it
you, I'm bad
just
at
now.
Did we just say
Okay,
it just
okay.
now?
So number 1, it's Supernova by aespa.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And number 2,
I'm so bad.
it's fine. Number 2 is Kiss of Life's Midas Touch.
That's a good song too.
It's still up there. So Armageddon was at 52 covers. Kiss of Life was at 68 covers. And
Oh, dang.
aespa Supernova was at 97 covers.
What? Dude, I really like aespa.
Yeah, this last album, like, I really mess with it. I think I like Supernova just for all the memes. Like, you know what I'm talking about, Virginia?
No.
Oh, okay. So there's like
Sorry.
this very easy anyone can do dance move in Supernova where like there's this like breakdown of the song where they go su Supernova, and then they go that I can't say the lyrics, but anyway, that's like the transition phrase, and then they just go into this very consistent beat where you just like move your arms back and forth above your head like this while you're walking.
Oh. Wow.
So people have turned that into memes of like, you know, su Supernova. And then they're like, for example, one local dance team off the grid, they did a meme to this where they played it and it showed them leaving rehearsals out of their building and then walking into the local K-pop retailer, K-pop Cloud, and then going in, you know, doing the march of the choreography of Supernova and then going into the store and picking up stuff and then dancing with merch in their hands. I thought what was really funny about it was that the store owner walked into the dance studio doing the dance moves to Supernova, and you had the you know, you move your hands above your head, but he had like the thumbs back, like this way, let's go this way. So he was kind of like, okay, everyone, let's march out this way, march to my store, and he's in front of the store. He's like welcoming the men, you know. It was funny. Okay, I don't think that translated very well to audio. Me trying to explain it, but
I'm sorry, I'm so like non-meme friendly.
I live for
I'm
the
boomer,
memes. I do all the like K-pop meme stuff, like, you know, playing Sheesh over Islet. What is their song? Magnetic. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So hot issue, how you think? So Virginia, tell us about your thing.
Oh yes, I'm bringing in the drama, folks. So there's an EXO-CBX fight with SM Entertainment. So for those who don't know, EXO is a big K-pop band. They came out, I think, in like 2012. And CBX would stand for like Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin. And they're the 3 most popular and highest selling solos from EXO. And they recently left SM Entertainment for another company called, I think, NB100. And it's because they said like SM cheated them out of a lot of royalties. They never got to see how much money they made, all sorts of stuff. And so there's this new agreement that, so recently, I think 2 days ago, or maybe 1 day ago, they threw a press conference and they're saying, hey, there's unfair royalty fees. There's no proper access to financial docs. There's poaching and all sorts of other accusations. And then SM Entertainment hit back saying like, hey, you're hurting EXO's groups. We didn't say anything earlier because we didn't want to hurt your other members, their activities. But now we're going to hit back, and we basically saying like, you're making a big deal out of nothing. We've given you these things. And now they're saying like, oh, EXO's comeback that was originally slated for winter is going to be in flux because of CBX being not playing fair or not playing nice. And so it's like,
So this is SM trying to be petty and be like, well, we're going to try to turn the EXO fandom against you by saying that you're coming after us. Now we have to delay it. All because of you. It's your fault.
Yeah, yeah. When really, if SM's financial house were in order, they wouldn't be in this sort of mess. And they did, like, if you look at the contracts, I think they really did cheat CBX out of a lot of money. And because I think they were the highest sellers.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're the reason, I think EXO, not the reason, but like they're one of like the main backbones of like EXO, and like they got screwed. So
I mean, EXO-CBX always had, like, in my opinion, they had like the most viral melodies and hooks on their songs. So
yeah. And your what's your how you doing?
Oh
wait, you don't do how you doing anymore. It's
how
still
are
my
you
favorite
doing?
thing.
We could bring it back
It's
for
still my
you,
favorite thing to
Virginia.
say.
We could. That's fine. Wait, is there anything else I should be thinking about in the or I/listener should be thinking about in the EXO SM entertainment battle?
I mean, I guess it's. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was my like TLDR.
Well, how do you feel about it, Virginia?
I mean, I personally think that SM has probably screwed over their artists, and now I mean, otherwise, why would Taemin and Onu and I think even Key has Key left?
I'm
SM
not
too?
sure.
Like, there's a reason people are leaving SM Entertainment, and it's artists who are happy with their representation don't usually leave, right? So, I think I'm on CBX's side, and I don't think it's wrong for them to want to be properly compensated.
All right. So my how you think. I was at a Maker Faire event festival that we were just talking about earlier. What was it? Almost feel like 2 weeks ago. It was June 2nd. So that was just a week ago, I guess, at this point. And, I'm DJing like the random dance and everything. And it just made me feel like, how do you do, fellow kids? Like, it was very kid centric as far as the attendees. And then I did this event this last weekend where the group that was helping co-promote this thing was BTS Army Over 40. Like, that's in their name. Like, the over 40 is in their name.
Wow.
And so it was a very different crowd for that. And then, so just being juxtaposed between those two events, it made me start asking, where the heck are all the K-pop fans, other K-pop fans? Like, where are they? Like, where are they going to events? What do they do? What keeps them up at night? What are they consuming? So I just thought it'd be, interesting to talk about, what happens to K-pop fans over 30? I'll just say over 30 for like simplicity's sake, because I guess by the time you're like 25 or something, you're hag status or whatever, according to like K-pop fans. So, I don't know. Like I looked to our Bay Area K-pop census, our 2023 Bay Area K-pop census, and I did the pivot tables thing, where people who self-identified for being between the age range of, 33 to, I forgot what was the cap, but it was like maybe 33 to 40 or something. And I looked at all their data, but I don't know if you've had reactions, Virginia, as maybe a fellow member of like the K-pop fan over 30, but like, do you feel like we consume K-pop differently?
I mean,
than everyone else, all the other under 30 people?
just looking at your data, yes, probably. I mean, I probably only go to concerts and participate in like Facebook groups or Discords or like things that are online that are not difficult to access. But I can't imagine too many people in our demo going to clubs in general, let alone a K-pop specific night, because most people probably have in this age group, I know, like, I think Gen Z and millennials probably had kids later, but usually your 30s, you're stuck caring for tiny children. At least for me, I popped out 4 kids in my 30s, you know, and then waited for the last one in the 40s. But like, yeah, so I think we do consume it differently. And I think we probably buy more merch because we have more disposable income in general. But that's
actually, let me. I can do a really quick pivot table on that, on merch. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, to kind of like summarize the census pivot table thing. So people who are between that 33 to 40 range are going to, if they're going to K-pop concerts, it sounds like they're going to 6 or more concerts a year, which I guess if you've got money,
yeah,
which we do.
We do.
So you can afford it. Like, I cannot relate. I don't know. This is a humble brag, I guess. But like, you know, I cannot relate to all these people saying like, oh, you know, got to watch the wallet or whatever. It's like, you know, it's just a couple $100 here or there. Well, you know, what's that? You know, I guess for us in late 30s, 40s camp, that's not a lot. But to younger professionals, that probably is a lot. So they have to be very selective and choosy about which concerts or events that they go to. I guess my other theory between, if they are going to concerts, it must be because they don't have small kids or their kids are no longer small. I don't know. What do you make of that, Virginia?
Well, I feel like they either have supportive partners, but also I think our census is a little bit skewed because so many K-pop acts come through Bay Area.
That's true.
But if you're not in the Bay Area, or if you're not in one of the major cities that they have tours through, then it's not just the cost of the ticket, right? It's the cost of getting to the concert, the venue. You have travel, you have housing, and food, right? For those, and it's probably minimum 3 days. If you're cutting it really close, 2 days travel, right? So at least one night. So I think it's not necessarily just the cost of the ticket. And also because of surge pricing. Yeah. It's so stupid now. Like a base price ticket, some of them were as low as like $59. But then during surge pricing, it's like in the several hundreds. And that's not financially feasible for a lot of people. I don't want to pay several $100s for a ticket that's normally $59, right? Like, yeah. So. Yeah.
By the way, your theory holds correct, because luckily we did have a question in the census asking how many concerts would you travel to inside versus outside of the Bay Area. So we had that difference, and it looks like for 30. So sorry, now looking at the census data, the age range that I'm referring to right now is between 33 and 39, and for 33 to 39 year olds, most of them have gone to events in the Bay Area versus out. It's the opposite number for going to concerts outside of the Bay Area. And then what was that other question that we wanted to check for? Oh, how much they've spent. Yes. So on official merchandise, they're spending a hell of a lot more. So that looks like they mostly spend $400 or more on official merchandise for the 33 to 39 year olds. And then here, let me also check for unofficial merchandise or fan made merch. Where is that question? It looks like they're not spending very much money on unofficial. It looks like they're spending between $100 and $200 on unofficial merchandise.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I will say, sometimes the fan-made merch is so much better than the official merch. I'm looking at you, Hybe. Your official merch lately sucks poop.
Yeah, so I thought that was another really interesting thing. So at this BTS Army Over 40 event, there was a vendor there, and I want to give them a shout out, but I'm totally blanking on their name, but they were selling BTS branded wine.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I was like, because I've complained on the podcast before, why is there not premium merch that us grownups can enjoy? And I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is for me. Although I don't want to not throw them under the bus by saying like I'm suspect of the quality of the mind, but of the wine. But it was just really interesting that there was there was like a Pinot, there was
Wow.
a champagne, there was for each of the different members of BTS. So I thought that was
that's
really
clever.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
I guess
want.
it's not champagne if it's not actually from France, but you
Oh,
know what
that's
I mean.
true. Sparkling wine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's just so strange to me, this conversation of like labeling anyone over 25 a hag fan. Like who do you think is paying for your faves to come out on tour? Are you going to ask your parents for an allowance raise? Like who do you think is coming to do these things? Like the reason why they can do this is because of the purchasing power of people who are older. And then also, it's so dumb to be ageist. Are you going to die before you're 25? Are you planning on exiting life? Like it's just such a narrow viewpoint. And I don't necessarily think that our generation, I sound really old now, but I don't think we had that same sort of hate for older people.
I think there's, at least among the millennial crowd, there's vengeance for boomers having their cheap homes and Social Security and whatnot. But
And pensions.
yeah,
Pensions must be
pensions.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's that.
But not
Angst.
specifically saying you can't like XYZ team because you're old.
Yeah. But maybe we feel that way because we're in an older camp for the new kids, Gen Alpha and Gen Z.
I mean, it's just so bizarre. Yeah, it's so bizarre to me that you're going to hate a group that you're going to become.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's sexist. It's particularly sexist and against women. Right. And allegedly, a lot of these people are also women or future women. And so it's just like, what's with this misogyny?
Explain that. Explain the sexist misogyny and.
Well, because there's this general idea of like, oh, women get less valuable, get less desirable as they age, whereas men, they get more desirable as they age because their income increases. Like you see like George Clooney and Brad Pitt only got more attractive as they got older, right? Their roles got sexier. Whereas once you hit about, there's this huge brouhaha over like what Anne Hathaway playing a 40-year-old when she's 42. They're like, oh, no 40-year-olds look like that because she looked normal, didn't look like she was super, super old. But like, yeah, like what do people think 40-year-olds look like? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of ageism and sexism, especially against women. And then to have these alleged feminist young women coming in and saying, oh, you're just a hag. It's just so like the cognitive dissonance is interesting to me. It's like, do you think you will not get old? Are you upset? And sometimes it's like, oh, you're sexualizing these idols and people. You guys are gross if you sexualize people younger than you. And you're like, well, I mean, do you not think that they're sexualizing themselves? like, you know, the whole point is like part of the whole like perceived availability is being sexualized, right? Like being available to you as a partner, which incidentally you will never be, you know, like, so I think it's a whole bunch of things. But I find it very sad for them.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe the root of the question for me is just like, where are they? Like, what happened to them? Like, do they get to a certain point where they've been into K-pop for a number of years, but then they just can't go out anymore? Or do they no longer find like K-pop fun or interesting like they used to? And that, like, I just don't have the data on, but
yeah.
like, you know, I'm just wondering what happened.
I mean, I imagine it's like what happens to most people when we age to a certain bracket. It's not that you don't like these things. It's just, you just don't have time between your career and children or family or trying to have kids, you know, like, I'm just speaking mostly of women. I don't know about men. But I imagine it's like that across all hobbies or interests.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to go, like, there was a time when I was like super skinny and like super fit, but I was like social dancing like every night of the week all over the Bay Area. But, you know, obviously can't do that now with children.
I mean, you could, but your wife would probably leave you.
Yeah, right. And like you said earlier, like it's probably one of two things. Like the kids are either older or they have like a supportive partner. I definitely have a supportive partner for my DJ gigs. Yeah. And it helps that I get paid for the gigs too. Right. So it's like, you know, it's not like I am partying, to be clear. I'm having a good time, but like, you know, it's not like it's not like we're not getting money out of it. So
yeah.
I just feel bad because, like, also with this BTS Army Over 40 event, there were a lot of messages I was seeing, like, can I go alone? Like, you know, do I need to have friends to go to this thing? And I was trying to indicate, like you're going to be in good company. Like, there's going to be a lot of people just like you who are also really into BTS. Yeah. Like, you know, you're not going to be alone. And especially with like BTS fans who are like mostly Filipino moms in their 50s. So like
they're like the nicest people.
Yeah, right. So
it was a night event or it was like
it was a club night event. Yeah.
It was a club night event.
Yeah. Oh, and that was, by the way, Virginia. So usually our club night events, doors will open at 9:30 or 10. Uh-huh. This one, the doors opened at 8.
Oh, did people show up at 8?
Yeah, there was a handful of people. I mean, the crowd didn't really arrive until I want to say like the usual time of like 10, but still, there were lots of armies that came out at 8 o'clock. Like they were lined up outside the building to get in. And we also had like all the vendors upstairs, right? So there was like stuff to do, you know, like your cup sleeve. When I say cup sleeve and it makes me feel dirty to like, you know, because like I don't like doing cup sleeve events. Like it's just like, it's not a club event, you know? People aren't in the paradigm of like getting down to dance at a cup sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
Event. So anyway, but there was that upstairs. So people were like up and doing that. And like, you know, while I'm still waiting, the dance floor feels empty. So it's not like I'm going to play all like the banger happy songs. So I was playing like a lot of the BTS like ballads and anthems. And then at one point someone came up to me, she's like, hey, can you not play the sad songs?
What? BTS. The sad songs are the best songs.
Yeah, but I think at that point they were like ready to dance, and then I started doing like Boys with Fun and
that's a great song.
Yeah, and Attack on Bangtan, so Bangtan. So those were like the more fun dancing songs.
I just want more happy hour events.
Oh, at like 4 o'clock?
Yeah. I'm tired. 9 o'clock is not the time to go out, people. Like, I don't know how you do it. I'd just be like, yeah, no, I can't do it. So maybe that's where all the old people are, Peter. We're in bed.
Maybe, I don't know, like what would be the perfect like 30, 40-year-old, 50-year-old like K-pop event be?
Brunch.
And what would you do?
We would eat. And someone plays good music in the background.
And that's it, right?
And then we would eat and we would chat. And if someone wants to dance, they can dance. But mostly I would just like to eat.
Eat and talk.
Yes. Yeah.
On like a Sunday morning sort of thing, or
yeah, or like, yeah, it should replace church. I feel like it's better than church. or like a happy hour even. You know, I used to complain even in my 20s, why don't clubs open during happy hour? And then we could dance and then we could go home and go to bed. I'm a night owl too, which is why this is so amusing to me, but I don't want to go outside, you know. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I'm just trying to imagine like what would be the perfect thing, and like can we go out and make it like?
Oh,
so you're saying either brunch or a happy hour?
yeah.
And a
like
happy hour which would end at like what, 6 or 7?
Yeah, 8, and then you could open
8.
up the club for the other people who want to stay out or something, and then people might stay, you know. But like,
What would you do at the happy hour? It's just like drinks and like you're just saying like, hey, K-pop fans, let's meet up and mingle for our happy hour, K-pop happy hour.
yeah, I don't know if happy hours would work as well, but like, yeah.
But brunch, you're more bullish on brunch.
I think so, because then you sit next to. I don't know if there's like assigned seating. Are we eating into your engineering time? Like,
Oh no, it's all good. This is this is the question, right? Like, you know, where are they? Where are they going? What can we make? But yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. I just think you might do okay if there was like a BTS moms club or a K-pop moms thing, and then they have like music together, but it's for like it's K-pop version. I think that would be easier for parents to get to. But that's just me speaking from my limited perspective.
Okay. Well, you've inspired me to, at the very least, create a K-pop over 30 or K-pop parents chat group in the Bay Area K-pop thing. So we'll see what that sparks up. Okay, so now let's move on to our J-Block or Not section. So J-Block or Not is when we're glass half full or glass half empty on that thing. I'll name the thing, and then you can interpret it however you want. So first up, for K-pop, J-Block or Not, music comebacks. Just because your last song was 2 weeks ago, it's still called a comeback in the K-pop world. So are you J-Block or Not on Everglow Zombie?
Daebak.
Yeah. I'm actually a not. I don't really like this song. Yeah.
It's so catchy.
Is it?
I feel like it is.
They're known
liked
for
it.
like banger clangers, and like this is kind of sort of there. Visually it was interesting, but like it's not like all their go crush banger clangers.
I guess I don't listen to Everglow a lot, so I can't compare it to their other things, but like I do like the song.
Okay. Are you J-Block or Not on Jungkook living his best basic era with Never Let You Go?
Okay, so for context, this song is an ARMY song. It's not just a single. It's a song for ARMY, for Festa, which is their anniversary since they debuted on the 13th of June. So the lyrics are sweet, you know, like it's, well, I never want to let you go, you know, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But I don't particularly enjoy dance music or house music, and this is that. So no, I'm sorry, Jungkook. No.
All right. Well, I think it's hella J-Block because I like house music. So
Okay.
for the reason you dislike it, I like it. All right. Are you J-Block or Not on Signature in their song? I feel like I'm in trouble for trying to pronounce Pung Tung? Pung Tung?
Punong.
Pung Tung?
Yeah, I think from what I recall of it, it was Daebak. I think I try to give girl groups more grace than I normally would, because I know I'm naturally against girl groups. Songs.
Why?
It took me a really long time to like K-pop girl groups.
Why?
I think I just found them too cutesy, and I was just like,
I understand that. Yeah.
I'm not a cutesy person. But then, then there's like Blackpink and like aespa and
Like Girl Crush.
yeah, those groups I tend to like more, like G Idol and
CLC.
yeah,
Everglow.
yeah. So so I try to like give it a little bit more. What's the term? Like, I'll try and bias it more to liking it than not, because my instinct is no.
Yeah. Well, I'm Tibok on this one as well. It reminds me of like 2019, 2018. There were like a bunch of like really bubbly, energetic EDM house-ish songs starring beaches and sunshine, and a certain like freight shipping yard that is also in this music video. But it reminds me of that era of K-pop, and it's just nice to see it reproduce again here in 2024. And I think it's a fun song.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
Okay, sensational Daebak or not sensational news section. So are you Daebak or not on, I can't even pronounce the label's name, Fantagio?
Yeah, that sounds right.
In their girl group Weki Meki disbanding following a June comeback.
I mean, I guess it's not. Like, it's always sad when a group disbands, particularly for their fandom. So,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is a bad pick for me to drop it in here. But yeah, apparently they had been on a hiatus since November 2021, which is like forever in K-pop terms. So they're getting a comeback in a couple days from this recording.
oh, okay.
Okay, are you Daebak or not on? Oh, why don't you say this one, Virginia?
What, NCT's Haechan and Johnny being accused of sleeping with fans, and yeah, I mean, I don't think it's Daebak in the sense of like, I know they're going to be really screwed about it. I don't think that's Daebak. But I do think it's Daebak that they're living their best rock star life. Go do that. Like, let's stop the sex shaming. Like, can you imagine you're like one of the most well-known famous people, you're good looking and you're talented, and you're not supposed to have sex with people who want to have sex with you? That seems really stupid. So stop patrolling other people's sex lives. It has nothing to do with you. And no, you are not going to be slept with, okay? Odds are not in your favor. Let them live their best lives.
It's funny that we've gone through this arc of Gen 1, Gen 2, you weren't allowed to date at all, right? And now we've gone to, it's okay for you to date other famous people. And we haven't quite crossed the threshold where it's like really acceptable for you to be hooking up with fans, basically.
I mean, part of the controversy isn't that they're just fans. They're fans who are hostesses. Right?
Wait, and a hostess, what do we mean by that?
Like Japanese hostesses. And so I don't know whether it's on the clock or off the clock. And it was also a fivesome. So that's part of the controversy. And there's alleged drug use, right? And so there's also, what happened allegedly is that one of the women, her ex leaked this information. So that's already not Daebak, right? Like for an ex to like revenge.
That's bad.
Information,
yeah.
Right? But then I don't understand why people who are on the like the slander laws in Korea are really, really stringent. So if you say something, even if it is true, if it ruins financially or negatively affects financially the person you're talking about, you can get sued and they will win, right? And you will lose. So the fact that this person, even after their ex leaked it, then goes on the record and says, well, I have pictures, all these other things happened, and then gives like a detailed list of like who was there, who wasn't. So it wasn't just Haechan and Johnny, and like allegedly someone else was supposed to be there, but they didn't show up. And then then leaves details about people's genitalia and like the size of it. And then like people's kinks, like that's sort of like, okay, the nosy part of me is like, yes, tell me more. But the like human part of me is just like, why are you stupid? Why would you do this? Like, you're going to be sued into oblivion. And then you ruined these people's lives for what? Over something that people should be able to do. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, part of the concern is if they are hostesses and if it was part of their job, then that's illegal. Because paying for sex is, like, sex workers is illegal in South Korea. And if you're a South Korean citizen, whatever, it doesn't matter if you're not in the country. You cannot do things that are against the law in South Korea. So Haechan would be in trouble for that. And Johnny could lose his immigration status from it, right? Like, because he's deemed unfit to be in Korea. So, like, for something that's not a big deal, like, why are you ruining people's lives over it? You know what I mean? So that's the context. And a lot of it is alleged. So, like, I don't know how much of it's true. I don't know how much, you know, like, yeah, it's just very salacious. And it was on the evening news with, like, no, like, that's a big thing to accuse people of on the evening news. If you're a gossip channel and you're talking about it, sure. But, like, on the evening news, like, so I think it's a bad precedent. Or it continues a bad precedent, right? Like,
So are you Daebak or not? Wait, I guess you were, what, Daebak on people living their life not on the scandal?
yeah.
So you're not on them getting caught is what you're saying.
I'm not, yeah, I mean, I don't even care if they're caught. I'm just not on them getting screwed over, literally, I guess, and figuratively, by the events. Especially if everyone's consenting, right? Like,
I guess I'm not on this causing career damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone lives their best life.
Exactly.
Okay. Last Daebak or not item. The KCON LA lineup. So,
good.
Yeah. Just to recap it for our listeners. So as of the time of this recording on January 10th, we've heard that
June 10th.
June 10th, excuse me, not January. What year is it? What month is it? It's June 2024. So the guests confirmed at this point have been Island 2. I don't even know what that is.
I think that's a reality show, right? That's where Enhypen got formed. So I think they're doing a girl group this time.
And the girl group hasn't yet been formed, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. And then we got Enhypen. I think they're like the main headliner, right, of the show. Everyone cares about Enhypen.
Oh, they're so good, though.
Yeah. Then Drippin', I'm not familiar with them, but I'm sure they're great. Boy Next Door, Apaki. Oh, I wonder if we're going to get like some virtual experience with
Oh, yeah, because they're not real.
A bunny with humongous eyes. And then we've got TWS. They've had some hits. POW. I'm not familiar with them. Isaac Hong. Hyolyn.
Yay.
One of the OGs. Craxy. Then BB. Man, I would just go for BB.
Right?
Whatever BB's here, and I would show up for that. Then we have Zico.
Yes.
Taemin, post SM Entertainment. P1 Harmony, they've been on the rise. And then this one really stood out. God or GOD.
GOD.
And then yeah, they are. But like I'm so for like Gen 1 artists coming back to stages like this. And here's the other interesting thing. When I did that random dance event, like what was it? I played some like real throwbacks, and like the throwbacks, surely the kids who got into K-pop, for as young as they were not into K-pop, and the songs I played were like new and trending. So I think there's got to be something in the K-pop fandom where like new young kids or new K-pop fans, period, discover the old acts. So I'm all for that and getting these old forerunners, ones who paved the way.
I think one of the members is on a lot of variety shows right now. Like the Korean American one, I forget his name, but he's on a lot of shows right now, I think.
So there's GOD, and then there's I'm not going to pronounce this right.
Is it Demon?
Demon? Oh, probably. It's DXMON. And then Ace, Zero Base One, Stacy, NCT 30 plus member. No, I'm just kidding. NCT 127, which is how many members?
I forget, but it was just announced.
Yeah. And then
It's my favorite subunit.
Yeah, they've got the real bangers, that subunit. And then me:I, or ME:I, and then I. These acronym group names. And then the hosts include Jun Somi, Kim Soo Hyun, and Ruwon.
He's an actor, right? He's super hot.
I can't comment on the hotness, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah. And Jun Somi is also performing, I should add. So.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah, I would see Jun Somi, Philahapa Queen. So yeah, I guess I'm Daebak.
Oh, hello, Daebak. It's such a good lineup. And I'm a little bummed that I won't be able to go because we could have gotten press tickets, but I couldn't go.
What, really?
Yeah, because I'll be in Asia. I'll be in Taiwan.
Oh.
But next year I could probably make it to KCON.
Yeah, I think Michaela applied for the Access Journalism Press Pass.
Yeah, she asked me to apply for an extra person for her.
Okay.
I don't know if they got it, but I tried.
All right. When is it this year?
I think July.
They did not give a lot of runaway with these announcements.
No, I feel like they've been announcing it for a long time, though. I feel like KCON this year, they gave a lot of...
Oh, on the artists?
Mm-hmm. Or not on the artists, but like telling you to buy tickets.
Oh, yeah. But not knowing the artists, I think, is kind of the big thing. People...
Oh, yeah. It's July 26, 27, 28, I think.
Okay.
At CryptoCon. Or Crypto...
Crypto.com
Oh,
arena,
yeah. Crypto.com.
Which used to be Staples Center.
Oh, is that what it is? I was like, what is this crypto arena?
No, just some Web3 startup had a lot of money and they were able to buy the arena naming rights. So,
well, good for them.
That was a tech trend that died. Okay, that's it for this episode. So let our listeners know where they can buy your book, subscribe to your new podcast. What else do you have to plug? So, Virginia, kick us.
Yeah, you can buy my book on Amazon. It's called Elusive. If you like angst, found families, recovering after trauma, and spicy K-pop backstories, that's the book for you. And then also my podcast is called Brazen Asian, where we kind of discuss the complicated aspects of identity and being Asian and Asian American. And yeah, you can follow me at The Mandarin Mama on Instagram or Twitter. Twitter? Twix? I don't know.
I'm trying to get off of Twitter, but it seems like there's still stuff happening over there.
Yeah, it still has stuff.
All right, I'm at DJ Peter Lowe on all the things. You can follow the K-pop cast. We're not really active on social media, but you can join us on the Slack. Link to that on the episode description. Don't forget to chip in for editing costs. You've got a link to that in the episode description as well. Last word, Virginia.
I don't have one.
And that's it.
Don't be ageist.
Don't be ageist.
When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. Company.